A truly mature mind is forged through suffering most people cannot bear, watching your parents swallow their pride, the cold indifference of loved ones, friends walking away, betrayal from partners, and the weight of an empty wallet. Those who live through these moments are lucky, for they hold the key to changing your destiny. But they can also be the start of a downward spiral if you let them break you. Only by understanding the stages of mental growth can you recognize where you are right now, so and turn your pain into strength. Ever wondered why some people never grow up no matter how old they get? Why some people reflect constantly but never improve? Why capable people often stay humble and understated? And why being around mature people feels so effortless? All these questions trace back to which stage of mental development someone is in. The 8 stages are the reaction stage, the helplessness stage, the reflection stage, the conviction stage, the iteration stage, the value stage, the acceptance stage, and the infant stage. Let's break them down one by one. We all know someone like this. Challenge their opinion or disagree with them, and they snap immediately, getting defensive and angry. This is the reaction stage. Their pushback is automatic, a primal defense mechanism. It all starts with the innate sense of inferiority we're all born with, rooted in our helplessness as children. For some, growing up means overcoming that feeling through effort. For others, excessive praise and coddling at home inflate their ego to the point where they truly believe the world revolves around them. They can't stand being told they're wrong or less than perfect. Put simply, they're living in a fantasy where they're flawless and exceptional. Try waking someone up from that dream and they'll lash out. They don't want to face reality. If you meet someone with this fragile, overblown ego, don't try to shatter their illusion. Let them stay in their dream. Their mind simply isn't mature enough to handle the truth yet. People in this stage are also deeply entitled. Entitlement means doing whatever you want, demanding whatever you desire, with zero regard for how it affects others. For example, if you're out together and they suddenly decide to go somewhere else, they'll get furious if you say no. In their mind, you're the one being unreasonable. That's how they were treated at home. Why wouldn't everyone else cater to them too? They act entirely on impulse, regardless of who gets hurt or whether it's the right call for the group. The result, they fall into the same traps over and over again because they never admit they're wrong. They never learn from their mistakes. Writer Liu Jianyun summed it up perfectly. Fate is what happens when you act exactly as your personality dictates. Luck is what happens when you break that pattern. For people in the reaction stage, their fate is sealed until something breaks them. If they're lucky, life will push them into the second stage. What is the helplessness stage? When someone stays stuck in reaction mode long enough, their life inevitably falls apart. They hit a wall where nothing goes right and no one is there to bail them out. It's no mystery why. Their entitlement makes them impossible to work with. And since they never admit fault, they never reflect and never build the foundation for real growth. They're just existing, not evolving. Life keeps moving forward, but they don't. Eventually, the challenges outpace their ability to cope. They fail at work, ruin relationships, and face one disappointment after another. This is life's way of waking someone up. Call it the universe's tough love. It doesn't coddle you, it breaks you down so you can build yourself back up better. People in this stage may feel hopeless and question everything, but this is where real growth begins. Some people never get this gift of hitting rock bottom. Maybe they're wealthy enough to stay sheltered from consequences, or everyone around them tiptoes around their flaws, never calling them out. In both cases, their mind never matures. And that's the greater loss in the long run. They may live carefree, but everyone around them secretly loses respect for them. The worst part, when they get older and the people who coddled them are gone, they have no skills to fall back on. By then, it's often too late to learn, and life can crush them overnight. The luckiest people hit rock bottom in their 20s. They learn early that no one is coming to save them, and blaming the world gets you nowhere. When they finally realize they have to build their own way forward, they enter the third stage. In the reflection stage, people develop a new mindset. When problems arise, they look inward first, then work to fix what's broken. They do it not because it's easy, but because they have no other choice. Imagine falling into a hole on your way home, your phone dead. At first, you yell for help, waiting for someone to rescue you. When no one comes, you get angry, curse your bad luck, blame the world, but none of that gets you out. To survive, you have to figure it out yourself, dig handholds, climb your way out. That's the reflection mindset in action. People in this stage actually listen to advice because they know they have gaps to fill. The fragile, false ego from the reaction stage is gone, shattered by hardship. Being around them feels rewarding too. They make you feel like your input matters. Humans crave that sense of being useful. So people in this stage naturally start fitting in better with others and society at large. This stage is also the starting line for self-actualization. It's where growth truly begins, because when you start reflecting you start asking who you really are, what you want, and where you fit in the world. In the first two stages, self-perception is entirely subjective. People have no clue what they're actually capable of, what they truly want, or what fits them. They might dream of being billionaires, and everyone around them humors them. But that dream isn't rooted in reality. The reflection stage is a journey of self-discovery, uncovering your beliefs, your values, and your purpose. The fourth stage is the conviction stage. Put simply, this is when you learn to hold firm to your own truths. Why does this matter? Because reflection alone can backfire. A lot of people reflect constantly, but never grow to come out, and this is why. First, people in reflection often fall into rumination, endless self-criticism that leaves them convinced they're bad at everything. They overthink, but never act because they don't trust the conclusions they've reached. They fail to stand by their own insights, second-guessing every realization they have. Second, they're extremely susceptible to outside influence. Still reeling from failure, they don't trust their own judgment, so they latch on to other people's advice. And that's when manipulators move in to gaslight and exploit them. Most people who dish out advice aren't responsible about it. They barely know what they're talking about. They just want to sound smart. But to someone in the reflection stage, confident words sound like wisdom. There's a saying that youthful conviction is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Lose it to other people's opinions, and you'll struggle to ever have a mind of your own again. So what's the fix? You have to guard your convictions. When you reflect, when you learn a hard lesson and have an aha moment about how the world works, hold on to that truth. Make it your belief, your personal principle. Trust the lessons you've earned through experience. No matter what anyone else says, no matter how better their opinion sounds, don't abandon what you've learned for yourself. Their life experience isn't yours. You can't fully live by someone else's truth, and it won't help you grow. Even if they're right, you can't truly understand wisdom that outpaces your own experience. It might sound good in theory, but without living it, it never becomes real knowledge for you. That's why I always say, don't read books that tackle problems you haven't faced yet. They become a trap. You think you understand, but you really don't. People in the conviction stage will face criticism and pushback. When you have strong beliefs and live by your own rules, some people won't like it. Most people don't want others to be fully themselves. They want you to conform to their expectations. So don't waste energy on them. Take the internet, for example. If no one is hating on you, you're probably not making much of an impact anyway. The fifth stage is the iteration stage. This is when you enter a cycle of relentless self-improvement. Act on your ideas, adjust based on results, then try again over and over. As we said before, you can't gain wisdom beyond your own experience, so you have to live by what you believe is right, but that doesn't mean being stubborn. You have to update your beliefs based on real-world results. If you think a certain approach will improve your relationships, but it backfires when you try it, course correct immediately. When you hit a brick wall and it hurts, don't keep ramming into it. Step back, reflect, and figure out what went wrong. Every attempt gives you data. Even a failed attempt teaches you at least one thing that doesn't work, and that's still progress, still evolution. From the outside, people in this stage look incredibly focused and hardworking. They're locked in a cycle. Reflect, commit, act, reflect again. They might seem like they're in their own world, but they're evolving faster than anyone else. Every step builds a stronger foundation. The ancient Chinese text I Ching describes this state perfectly. The superior man works diligently all day and remains vigilant at night. In this way, he faces danger without ruin. It means once you find your path, you don't get complacent. You focus on your work day in and day out, stay alert to your mistakes, and keep improving. Do this, an opportunity will always find you, and that opportunity leads to the next stage. Think of a carp swimming upstream to leap the legendary Dragon Gate. The hard part isn't the leap itself. It's fighting the current to get to the gate in the first place. Very few fish make it that far. Those that do almost always clear the leap. People who reach the value stage are just like those carp. Make it through the first 5 stages and your leap will come. You won't have to chase opportunity. Opportunity will find you. When you iterate relentlessly at one thing, you become rare. And rarity is value. By this stage, you're a master in your field. People admire your confidence and your unique style. That confidence doesn't come from ego. It comes from knowing exactly what you're worth. Your value isn't imaginary. It's built brick by brick through every lesson and every attempt. There's a truth here. Real confidence isn't about proving you're good enough to others. It's about knowing you're good enough. People in the value stage don't just know they're capable. They know exactly why. That's how they develop their one-of-a-kind style. That style is born from conviction and iteration, a unique blend of their beliefs, principles, and methods. If you look at top performers in any field, they often have very different philosophies, but they all get great results. That's because every approach is tailored to the person behind it, rooted in deep self-knowledge. Put simply, they do what fits their personality and their strengths. Some people thrive as entrepreneurs, even though it's exhausting. After years of iteration, they know that's where they add the most value, and nothing else feels right. Others, at the peak of their value, choose to step back and take a break from the grind. It might look like they're slacking from the outside, but they feel zero guilt about it. They know their limits, and they're choosing to rest for a while. The seventh stage is acceptance. This is where good becomes great, where a master is made. There's a saying, true masters always have the heart of a student. It sounds simple, but most people don't really get what it means. Most people think they're open to feedback and different opinions, but really they just tune out what they don't agree with. For example, you might intellectually know that everyone has their own perspective, so you accept that. But if someone insults you, if your first thought is they just don't get it or they're an idiot, that's not acceptance. That's writing them off to make yourself feel superior. It doesn't leave you at peace. This happens because you haven't fully validated yourself and you haven't fulfilled your own sense of worth. Only someone who feels complete and secure in their value can truly accept differing voices. What does real acceptance look like? It's genuine curiosity. When you hear an opinion that contradicts your own, you don't dismiss it or label the person. You wonder, why do they see it that way? Is the world shifting? What can I learn from this? You're actively looking for insight, not defending your ego. This requires a true empty cup mindset. You can only be open when you have nothing left to prove. This is active acceptance. You seek out different perspectives on purpose. It's fundamentally different from just ignoring criticism and pretending it doesn't bother you. When being around someone feels completely effortless and warm, they've likely reached the final stage. When the mind is fully mature, it circles back to a childlike innocence. Why? Because you know exactly what you're entitled to in this life, what's yours to claim, what's not, what you should do, and what you should leave alone. There's no excess desire, no stubborn attachment. You know your limits and you're at peace. That's the infant-like state. Think of it this way. When you've had everything, what's left? The joy of the present moment. You don't crave more because you've already experienced it. All that remains is curiosity and wonder at the world, the simple pleasure of exploring. That's exactly what a baby feels, pure, uncomplicated joy in the now. So don't tell me you've always been this innocent since birth. That's not the infant stage. That's just being a man-child. Only someone who's fully mature can earn the right to return to simplicity. They've picked up the weight of responsibility, so they can choose to set it down. If you've never picked it up at all, you're not enlightened. You're just neglecting your duties and the people around you. Laozi described this state in the Tao Te Ching. Know the masculine, yet keep to the feminine. Be a valley to the world. As a valley to the world, you will never fail to abide in constant virtue, and you return to the state of an infant. To break it down, the masculine is strength and force, the power to act harshly if you choose. The feminine is softness and restraint, to hold power but not wield it to dominate, to be strong but gentle. That's the valley spirit. Like a stream that flows humbly, yet feeds all the rivers and oceans, this kind of person wins the trust and affection of everyone around them. This is what true virtue looks like, someone with obvious power and capability, but as warm and unthreatening as a baby. Think about it. Being around a baby feels healing, right? They have no agenda, no ability to harm you. They're not trying to take anything from you, so you let your guard down completely. You feel safe and relaxed. That's how people in the infant stage make you feel. You can tell they want nothing from you. They have nothing to prove. They already know their own worth. For all their success and ability, they're kind, unpretentious, and they even make you feel seen and appreciated. It's hard not to like someone like that. Imagine running into Elon Musk on the street. Before you can even say hello, he nods and gives you a genuine smile. You'd walk away with a great impression of him, wouldn't you? That's the power of this kind of virtue. So there you have it, the 8 stages. Life is a process of first filling yourself up, then emptying yourself out. You can't skip a single step. If you're still in the filling up phase, don't cut corners and don't pretend you're already enlightened. You'll just look foolish. If you've built yourself up and found your value, remember to let go and empty yourself. That's how you hold on to what truly matters. Finally, remember, every obstacle is meant to be overcome. May you grow through every hard season and build a life of true fulfillment. See you next time.